I will talk, hopefully, so you understand. And if you don't understand something for whatever reason, just say, hey, I don't get it. You know, okay. But I'm going to talk about, as I thought about talking to you this evening, I thought, what should I talk about? What should I focus on? And ever since I've been in coaching, a lot of people make coaching something difficult. It is not. Coaching to me is another form of parenting. That's all it is. It's another form of parenting. And the same way that I raise my kids is the same way I coach. And we have 7 kids, and all of our kids are very close. When we go somewhere, we can be in a room all by ourselves, and we can be at a party all by ourselves, because that's the way I raised them. I raised our family, I raised our kids as this is what you have. This is all you have, is this circle. And this is your family. And look at each and everybody in this circle, because that's who you can depend on. That's who you can trust. And that's who you have to learn how to trust. And whatever you can do to help this one get better, you do it. If they need you, you are there. So my approach to coaching is the same way. Some coaches believe that you go out and you run a play, and then this guy is fighting out. Get your hands off me. I don't believe in that.
Sorry, move here when you do like this. I prefer to stay here.
I make them run.
Okay.
Why? Because I mean what we say. We're a family. And families do not fight each other. You fight the opponent. We have to do everything we can to stay together. We got to speak the same language. We got to be on the same page with one another. Family. To me, my team will be a family. There will be no separation. Either you are with me or you are against me. But we are together. That's the first rule. So, along those lines, there are 3 things in my philosophy in football. There are 3 things that I'm going to talk about today. The first is, if you ask most coaches, what do you want? What do you think is the most important thing? A lot of coaches are going to say, well, I want smart football players. I think that's good. That's in my top 3, but it is not my number 1. My number 1 is toughness. Mentally and physically tough, in that order. Mentally and physically tough. Because I believe football is a game that is played from here up. It is a game that, and many times I always try to help my players understand that the game on the field is played in your mind before it's on the field. If I can win the game in my mind, I can win the game on the field. It is the mental game. The game that says, I'm going to do what I have to do in my preparation. I'm going to make sure that I understand the plays. I'm going to make sure that I understand my preparation, my job. And I'm going to do my job first. I'm not going to get overwhelmed with what he's doing and what he's doing. I'm going to know what I'm doing. Because it goes back to the family. If I can do my job as best as I can, and he can do his job as best as he can, and the next one can do his job as best that he can, and all 11 doing their job as best that they can, and then doing something else. That is the key. But in order to do that, we have to be mentally tough. Being mentally tough means that if I know that as a guard, I've got to get down in a stance, and I got to get down in that stance every time. In football, consistency is the key. Whatever I do, I got to do it all the time. Because if I don't do it all the time, if one time I get down and I line up like this, well, they know it's a running play when I'm leaning like this. It's a running play. They know it's a passing play when I'm really light. Well, if they already know that it's a passing play, I just made his job that much easier. Because now he's going to really want to go get the quarterback. So whatever I do, when I played football as a linebacker, my eyes were really big because I was trying to see everything moving. And people thought, wow, he's trying to intimidate. I wasn't trying to intimidate. I was looking for keys. Who is going to tell me the truth? Who is going to give it away? Who's going to let me know that it's a run? Who's going to let me know that it's a pass? Maybe there's a tackle over here and he's tired. And he's like, I know it's a pass. I know it's a pass. Maybe the quarterback comes out of the huddle and he goes, I know it's a pass. Maybe the receiver comes out and he's like, normally if it's a pass, he's like this. Oh, I'm getting out of here. It's a pass. So I'm looking everywhere. Is it run or is it pass? I'm looking at the running back. He's looking to see who he's blocking. There's no other time that he does that. So consistency is the key. And a mentally tough football player, he aligns, he looks, he does the same thing every play until the ball is snapped. And then he does his responsibility. So physically and mentally tough, but mentally first. The next thing along mentally tough is I have to make that personal investment. We only have so much time in practice. We go out, we go through the plays. Okay, I know the play. I got the play. On this play, the play is 31, 35, 22, whatever it is. You go here, you step here, and you go here. Okay. I know that. But I can't do that all the time consistently the right way all the time if I don't work on that. I got 2 steps this way and I'm going here. Okay. When I played, I did that at home. I'm here, I'm thinking, I'd be in the bedroom and I'm working. Whoa, I got it. Wait. Stepping in. No, man, come on, get this right. I'm here, I'm thinking. Gotta walk around a little bit. He doesn't know where I'm coming from. Okay, I'm right here. Oh, it's that thought process. The mental part of the game is huge, but you have to see the game in your mind. You have to see your responsibility in your mind over and over and over again. That is where greatness comes from. That is when a player becomes great. Because repetition, when you do something over again, 1, 2, okay. 1, 2, boom. 1, boom. I'm here. Oh, give me your back. Yeah, okay, well, I think that's it. Over and over. I do that. Body motion. I do that in my mind. I sit down and I listen to music, and I see it. And I saw myself playing the game before the game. I'm looking at film. I see on film. I see myself in practice do it. Now in a game, I know the ball is coming right here. I know before the snap, the ball is coming right here. This is the hole. If I know the ball is coming there before the snap, oh, whoa, I'm excited. Woo! Come on, baby. I know it's coming right here. Come on, come on. I know it's coming right there. Boom, I'm gone. Now they got all this faking. I'm right here. Where's the ball? Come on. Right here. That's where it's coming. But you won't know that if you don't make a personal investment on your own. Most guys go to practice. They go through their practice and they go home. They get on the phone, they watch TV, and they go to practice. Who's going to be better? The guy that goes home and watches TV, goes with his girlfriend, which is okay. Or is the guy going to be better that goes home and thinks about it? I make that step. Oh, I got to. How do I? I'm here. How do I set this up? They think I'm here. They think I'm going to blitz. I'm up in the line of scrimmage. They think I'm going to blitz. Boom, snap the ball. I'm gone. I'm gone. I'm going somewhere else. Who's going to be better? The guy that thinks about it before practice, it's a rep in his mind. After practice, it's a rep in his mind. When he's at home, it's a rep in his mind. By the time the game time comes around, I've done it hundreds of times. I've seen it in my mind. Who's going to be better at it? The guy that does this. Alignment, assignment, technique. In whatever position you play, whether it's offense, whether it's defense, what is my alignment on that particular play? What is my assignment on that particular play? And what is my technique? I'm going to speak from a linebacker's point of view. We've got an over defense. I'm the Mike linebacker. I'm just going to line up in the A gap between the three technique and the end. That's where I'm going to line up. That's my alignment. My assignment is cover two. I'm the Mike linebacker. I know I got to get to the middle here. My technique, how do I get to the middle? Do I walk? Do I back paddle? Do I pop? See if it's run past, turn, push off of his leg, get back, and prepare to go this way or that way with my head on the swivel. How do I do it? It's my alignment. Am I in the right place? My assignment, am I doing the right thing once the ball is snapped? And my technique, am I getting there the right way? Am I at the right place? Am I doing the right thing? Am I getting there the right way? Alignment, assignment, technique. Tough. That is mental toughness. Mental toughness. The most important thing in football. When I came out of college and I went to the Chicago Bears, I was the smallest linebacker in the league. I was the smallest linebacker in the league. Everybody was trying to get me to play cornerback, play safety, play running back. You're too little to play middle linebacker. I said no, because I had seen in my mind me in the middle. I know I can do this. This guy may be smarter, but I'm going to outwork him. He may be better, but I'm going to outlast him. And I'm never, ever going to quit. Every play, I'm coming. Every play, I'm coming. Now, I got talent on this side. There are a lot of teams that have talent. Everybody's got talent. But there are only a few teams that got warriors. There are only a few teams that got warriors. You may take a guy and you may beat him. I say, hey, you may give me that play. I'm coming right back to the next play. And you know what? I'm coming back to the next play. And guess what? I'm coming back to play after that. And if you beat me again, I'm going to come back to the next play. You're going to get tired of seeing me because I will never stop coming. I will never stop coming. And the thing that I try to have our guys understand, some plays you're going to get beat on. Some plays. But it's only a play. And the thing that you have to prepare for is the next play. You are never a loser until you quit. Even if you lose the game, you are never a loser until you quit. And I made up in my mind a long time ago that if it's me and him, he will quit before me. I will never quit. I will never quit. And I take that back to my family. I take that back to my family. As the husband, as the father in my family, I played football that way. Every day I got to go out and I got to find a way to make it happen. My father was a very hard worker. And some days he was in business for himself. There were some days that there was no work. He went and found work. You know why? Because the kids had to eat. He went and found somewhere, somehow, some way to get it done. And it's the same way I look at the game. If you're looking at football as just a game, then you get out of it. Football is more than a game. It is a game for those that watch it. But for me, it's life and death. For me, it's everything that I am. For me. For me. Football, when I'm playing it, is everything. If there's anything more important, your girlfriend, down. Now, once you get married, it's different. Now, mama comes first, and your kids come first. You understand? Tough. Courage. Now, I'm on the physical side of the game. I was on the mental side of toughness. Now, I'm on the physical side of toughness. Courage. When you're running and you're working out, I can't do no more. I can't do no more. When I played the game, I always said that I would pay the price to be a champion. I would always pay the price. I would never cheat the game. I would never cheat my teammates. I would never cheat my family. Courage, when you feel, I can't do it anymore. I'm not going another lap. I'm not doing another technique. But then I ask myself, am I better today than I was yesterday? No. Then I got to be honest, and I got to get out there, and I got to do it till I'm better today than I was yesterday. Now, you got to understand this. There are a lot of people, I don't know everybody in this room, but there are a lot of people that say, man, I want to play football. Hey, I want to be the best. I want to do it. And then you start telling them what they have to do in order to get there. And they go, oh, what? Are you crazy? I had guys telling me that all the time. You got to do what? You got to do this, and then we got to do that, and we got to do that. That makes sense. I'm out there by myself in the rain, in 100-degree weather, twice a day, in the morning and in the afternoon. And the guys are saying, man, that doesn't make sense. You don't have to do that. No, you're right. You don't have to do any of that stuff. But you have to ask yourself the question, how bad do I really want it? Am I going to play and I just want to play the game just to be associated with the game? Or do I want to play and really compete to help my team be the best team? And hopefully I can be one of the best players. But it takes work. I got to work at it. I got to be willing to work at it. You understand? I got to work at it. That takes courage. The next thing I'm going to talk about is smart. I think being mentally and physically tough is the number one thing in football. Being mentally and physically tough. Being mentally ready and prepared to do everything I have to do from a mental standpoint, seeing that repetition in my mind, physically imposing my will upon myself. I believe the most important, the most difficult opponent that I will ever have is me. That is my toughest opponent. Getting myself to do the little things, to go the next level, to push myself that extra lap. I am my most toughest opponent. Being smart. Being smart is being a good listener. When the coach is talking, really listening to what they're saying. I'm really intently listening, not just looking, but I'm really listening. I'm intentional about listening. And then the next thing is being able to ask great questions. Not just any question. A question can tell you a lot about where a person is. A question can tell you if the person is just way off somewhere, their mind is somewhere else. Or a question can tell you if they're beginning to connect the dots, if they're beginning to put it together. So if you want to be a smart football player, if you want to be a smart coach, am I really a great listener, and am I asking the right question? Being smart means that I don't just know how to do something. It's one thing when I'm here and I go, okay, I know how to do that. Okay, that's great. That's really good. That's good stuff. But a smart person is asking why. Why am I doing that? Now, you don't ask the coach that every time. Why am I doing that? No. It is, hey, coach, can I ask you something? I'm doing, no, why am I doing, okay, why am I doing that, coach? Okay? It's good to know why you do what you do. Why? The detail of doing. Don't just take steps. If it's the quarterback making that fake, and there's a lot to it, but it's knowing and learning why. Good players know how. Great players know why. That makes sense? Okay. Coaches. Be very careful not to ask your players to do things that they can't do. Don't ask your players to do things that they cannot do. It's unfair to them, and it's unfair to you. Because you're never going to get what you're asking for, and they can't give it to you. And all you're going to do is frustrate them and frustrate yourself. And that's a lose-lose situation. as coaches and players, it's important that you understand the hidden yardage in football. The hidden yardage in football, there are many teams that come off the field and say, man, we lost the game. They were better than we were. No, they weren't. Because many times you beat yourself with penalties. On special teams, not getting the most out of special teams. We kick the ball off. We want those guys to be backed up inside of the 20, and they got to travel 80 yards to score. You make your defense very happy when you do that. But it's the hidden yardage in football, and a lot of it's on special teams, and not many people value special teams the way they should. Very important. Penalties can kill you. An undisciplined team will kill you. The last thing I'm going to talk about is accountability. Accountability is a great word, very underused. Accountability. What does accountability mean? Accountability means this. If I say, I'm going to do this, this, and this, when you turn on the film, you should be able to see it. Okay? If I say, I'm going to do this, this, and this, when you turn the film on, you should be able to see that. That's accountability. Coaches, I'm talking to coaches again. Make sure that you understand what your players can and cannot do. Make sure that you understand that you put them in positions to win. Make sure that you put them in position to win. Don't just do a whole lot of plays that you saw on TV. Don't do a whole lot of plays that you saw in a book. Do what your team can do and do it well. I don't care if it's 5 things. But you know what coaches want to do? As coaches, we want to come up here and I want to amaze you with how much I know. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to do that. We're going to do that. But we can't execute this. It's too much stuff. You want to see when a coach has to take a step back, take a deep breath, come to the board and start erasing some of the stuff. When you hear, what do we do? What's that? Coach, erase. Confusion is how you beat yourself. Confusion. When I am not communicating with you because I'm not real sure if I say this, it's the right thing. I'm an offensive guard, and I've got to talk to my offensive tackle, or I'm the center, and I've got to change the protection. Oh, wait a minute, we need to come this way. We need to block everybody this way. There's an extra guy coming over here. They're not coming over there. But if I got too much stuff, it sounds good, but I'm going to get killed because I don't know what I'm doing. And if I have too much stuff, that makes me unsure. Great teams have great confidence in what they're doing. Great teams have great confidence in each other. I can go full speed because I know you're going to do your job because we're not doing a whole lot. And the great teams are the ones that don't do a whole lot. They only do a few things, but they do them very well. You know exactly that they're going to come through this hole, but you can't stop it. Because they do it over and over and over again, but they do it really, really well. No excuses. If you tell me you can do something, you should be able to do it. I should be able to count on you. Coaches, when you have your coaches, I don't believe in micromanaging. Okay, you are the offensive line coach. Wait a minute. No, don't do that. Do this. Well, wait a minute. Are you the offensive line coach or am I the offensive line coach? I thought you were the offensive line coach. If you are the offensive line coach, you do the job. And you tell me, coach, this is what I'm going to do. I should see it on film. But the head coach can't be every coach. He's got to be the head coach. And the position coach has got to be the position coach. And the players got to be the players. Does that make sense? And it all works together. It works beautifully. But accountability. I can't hold you accountable until I give you ownership. I can't hold you accountable. I can't hold him accountable until I say, it's yours. You got the offensive line. Now, it's yours. You got the linebackers. It's yours. You got the receivers. Now it's yours. But if I go, it's still mine. And he's trying to coach, but he can't coach because I'm looking over. What are you doing? Wait a minute, is he the coach or am I the coach? If I give it to him, let him have it. And if he can't do it, I got to find somebody else. Does that make sense? Okay. Last couple of things, and then I'll open it up for question. As a coach, the thing for me is it's all about chasing greatness. It's all about chasing greatness. Next thing, be on time. If you're going to do something, do it right. Be on time. Act as if it's important. Be in the room. Be sitting down. Hey, let's go. Let's go. We're moving. We're ready. Why? Because it's important. Be respectful. I'm big on respect. I don't care who you are. If you're a player, if you're a coach, I don't care who you are. You deserve my respect. And we have to respect each other in a family in order for that family to work. I don't call you an idiot. I don't call you stupid. I don't call you any names. We're on the same level here. We're working together, trying to achieve oneness. A team. Attitude. Have a great attitude, man. Have a great attitude. Attitude is everything. It really is. We may lose the game. Hey, you know what? We're going to get the next one. I may make a bad play. I'm going to get the next one. He beat me on that play. Guess what? Next time, me and you, let's go. Attitude is everything. There's always another step. It just depends on how you're looking at it. The next thing is, as a football player, don't be afraid to make mistakes. When you're playing, when you're practicing, now listen to this, understand this, last thing. When you're practicing, make all the mistakes you can. Find out what you can and cannot do. How close do I need to be to this receiver? How close do I need to be to this block? Make the mistakes. Learn from them. But don't keep making the same mistake. And if I make a mistake, someone else should see it. You don't have to make the same mistake I made. I don't need 11 guys making the same mistake. If somebody else makes a mistake, I'm the last of 10 kids in my family. I am the last of 10. You know what I did? I watched my oldest brother make a mistake. I'm not doing that. I watched my next brother make a mistake. I'm not doing that. I watched my sister make a mistake. I'm not doing that. I make every one of them I learned from. I got to make my own mistakes. At least let me make some new ones. But let me not make the same one they made. You understand what I'm saying? That's how we get better. So, with that, that's all I have. If there are any...
We cannot develop. Yeah, okay, one second. We cannot develop technique question. We resolve the field tomorrow. Okay. Okay, guys.
When and how did you decide to dedicate your life to football?
When did I decide?
To dedicate your life to football.
When I was 12 years old. Yeah, and some do it later.
I'm 15.
Oh.
But a lot of people do it later. There were a lot of guys that I played with that are in the Hall of Fame that didn't play football until they were in high school, in the 12th grade, 18 years old. So, but I was in a situation where football, my father was a pastor, a preacher, and it was against our religion for me to play. All of my brothers were bigger than me and better than me, but they could not play. But my mom and dad divorced when I was 12, and I begged my mom to let me play, and she let me play. Yes?
As the best linebacker of all time and a head coach, what formation and style do you prefer the best?
What?
Offense and defense. And what's the hardest to defend and why?
What's the hardest thing to coach?
No, what's the hardest offense or defense to go against?
The hardest offense is an offense with a good quarterback. It really is. I'm not trying to be funny. The hardest offense is a team with a smart quarterback, because he's always going to keep the defense off keel. He's always going to keep them guessing. You can have talent everywhere, but have a quarterback to throw the ball to the other team, and you got problems. Or that quarterback does not exude confidence when he gets in the huddle. Okay, 25-35, 25-35. You got that apple over there? You got that apple? Okay, we ready to go? Let's go. Boom. Or quarter, oh, yeah. You know what I'm saying? So the quarterback he makes everybody else better. Okay? He makes everybody else better. Now, it doesn't mean he has to be great, but he has to be smart, and he has to have courage. Can't be scared. Got to have courage. On defense, I've been talking about that all week. The toughest defense is a defense that refuses to give you anything easy. When I was playing defense, people say the team that I played on was one of the greatest defenses of all time. But they say, man, you guys were great. No, we weren't. When you look at paper, when you look at our players, we had average talent, but we had big hearts. And we refused to let anybody gain anything. Anytime somebody gained 2 yards, you'd be, come on, man, that's your play. Let's go, baby. Come on, be on that thing. Let's go. Somebody had to be on it. Now, you on other teams, they gained their touchdown. Oh, man, we'll get it next time. Like, what? What is that? So that's the difference in the mentality. We didn't want to give an inch, where other teams were giving 30 yards and saying, well, let's do it next time. No, we're going to say, hey, this ain't right. We got to come together. We're not supposed to be doing that. So having pride in what you're doing, and that's really on both sides of the ball, having pride in what you're doing, wanting to be the best, and not just what everybody else is doing. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
We can easily improve our physical toughness. How do you work? Which is your way to work on the mental toughness, which is, I think, tougher?
It depends on if it's easy for a coach to say, we're going to work on mental toughness. But in all honesty, that has to come from the players. You have to have leadership. You have to have leadership where a player comes to you and say, hey, coach, we're not going to get there like this. What do we need to do? If somebody jumps offside, whoever jumps offside, they need to run to the goal line and back. Whoever it is. Because when the players start talking like that, now everybody else is going to start, hey, that's good. But when the coach says, when we do this, everybody going to run. Like, what? Come on, man. Why are we doing that? I mean, you guys know what I'm saying. Am I right? If you got leadership, you find out early if you got leadership. If you don't have a good practice, your players should be the one saying, Coach, that wasn't good enough. That wasn't good enough. We need to go back out here and get this right. So I'm trying to answer your question, and it's difficult for a coach to instill toughness. It's difficult unless your players buy into it. You have to have leadership where other players say, Coach, you're right. You're right, man. Let's go. We're going to do what Coach said. You got guys, what? We're going to do what? If you got that, it's going to be a long year if you don't have that. So leadership is really, really important. That's the best answer that I can give you. Hopefully you can find the leadership on your team that will stand beside you and learn how to trust you and be able to lead, begin to, hey, Coach, you know what? We got a problem. We got this. We need to do this. That's how you really get it. Otherwise, it's not going to be long-lasting.
This is a good question. How can you challenge the competitive nature of the players while not breaking the chemistry and the family of the team?
You have to know your players like you know your kids. There are some kids, I have 7 kids. One kid I can say, what are you thinking? Come on now, what are you doing? You know better than that, come on. And they'll say, you're right, Dad. That's my fault, Dad. I won't do that again. Now, I got another one, I say the same thing. What are you doing? What are you thinking? You know, I lost him for 3 weeks. Every time I see him. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You got to know your personnel. There are some players that you just got to say, hey, you know what? We need to talk. This is not going to get it now. You know. Others, you can talk in front of the team, and they can take it and appreciate it. You just got to know your personnel. Yes, sir.
The last half hour you talked about things that transcend the schemes. Who would you say was your mentor on that?
Who would I say was?
Your mentor on that.
Wow. I've been very fortunate in my life. I've got, when my mom and my dad divorced when I was 12, and I started playing football, every coach I had was my mentor. Every coach. They taught me, every one of them taught me something different. I only had one that taught me about life. That was my coach in college. His name was Coach Taft. And Coach Taft sat me down, and all the other coaches taught me about football. They taught me how not to give up and to be a fighter, to be a warrior. They taught me all those things. Coach Taft, my college coach, sat me down and said, son, here's what I want you to understand. There are 4 basic things in life that a man consists of. A man consists of what he is mentally. What is his mental makeup? What he thinks about. That's one. The other one was his physical. How he prepares himself for life. If you're going to be a football player, you need to be in the best physical shape that you can possibly be. You need to eat right. You need to sleep right. You can't be out partying every time you turn around. Can't be smoking this and can't be drinking that. Can't be running around. You got to be true to who you are. Now, that's the physical part. Then he said, there is the social part. The social part is those people that I'm surrounded by. Jimmy, Joe, Jack, Leon, all those guys. If I am the best person in that circle, I need to find another circle, because I'm only going to gravitate to the quality of that circle. I need to find a circle that I'm not the best one. I need to find a circle that I got somebody in that circle that can get in my face and say, hey, Mike, you know what? You said you wanted to be the best. You said you were going to be a better husband. You said you were going to be a better father. You're not doing that. And I need to be able to say, I want to choke him, but I know he's right. And I know he cares about me. Finding that person is difficult. Difficult. Because most people don't live to a level that you can trust them like that. Okay? So that was the next person that I had to find, and I always had one. And when I was with the Bears, Sean Gale was one of them. And you need to have somebody in that circle that's for you. Hey, Mike, man, you're the best. You're great, man. Way to go. Keep going, Mike. You're doing great. You need somebody in that circle like that. And you need somebody in that circle that you can go to and say, what do I need to do better? How do I get better? And listen to them when they give you feedback. You can find a circle like that, and I'm always surrounding myself with circles like that, because those circles take you higher. They take you higher. The last one was my faith. He said, the last one, Mike, is the most important. It is your faith. What do you believe in? What will you die for? What is really, really at the heart of who you are as a man? You got to find that and be able to live that and be true to it. Those were the 4 things that guided my life and navigated my life, and I was always true to it. And every time I found myself getting off path, nah, that ain't it. I got to go this way. But those were the 4 things that helped me shape my life to become all that God created me to be. That was the one. He was the man. Anybody else? Yes.
What made you want to make your number 1 position linebacker?
When did I say it again?
What made you want to play linebacker?
What made me want to play linebacker? When my mom said, son, you can play linebacker. I had never really played organized football, didn't really know how to put on the equipment or anything like that. And I was late getting my physical because I had to beg my mom, and they had already started practicing. So I kind of had my jock strap all messed up, and I got the worst stuff. My shoulder pads were flapping all around, and my jersey was down to my knees, my pants were falling down, and I was running out on the field. And I got about halfway, and the coach said, wait, whoa, who are you, son? I said, Coach, my name Mike Singletary. He said, what are you out here for? I want to play football. He said, do you know how to play? I said, I'll do whatever I need to do. He said, I'll tell you what, come here. He put me over here on this side of the ball. This is a true story. Drew a line. If you want to play on this football team, you got to tackle Cookie. Cookie was a big old back on the other side, had hair sticking all out of his face mask. Now, I'm 12 years old. He said, Cookie! Cookie, yeah. I'm like, you got to tackle him. You want to tackle him? Make the football team. All right, he blew the whistle. I would love to tell you that I stood right there holding him. Wow! Wow! It didn't happen like that. I grabbed hold of Cookie. Cookie drugged me all over that field. I was just screaming. Ah! Coach came over and was picking me up off the ground. My face mask was turned. And he said, son, you held on. You're going to be all right. You know what? You ever play middle linebacker? No, sir. That's what you're going to play. Middle linebacker. And that's what I've been playing ever since. That's the story.